Thank you for that introduction. Good afternoon. My presentation will be case studies. So we will examine some cases that will hopefully wrap up everything and put everything that you've learned in this workshop together. So let's get. So what I would like for us to go through is to examine different cases to identify common listing errors. And then I would want you guys to be able to explain when a repackaged drug NDC must change. Okay, so for our first case, our manufacturer here, actually in this case repackager, will be Wonder Pharma, and they are repackaging ibuprofen 800 milligram tablets. They've assigned it NDC 55555-001-01, and they are repackaging them into 10 count blister packs. So Wonder Pharma has been sourcing this ibuprofen from Amazing Pharma, and that's the source NDC that they've been getting it from. Now they want to source it from a different manufacturer, maybe because of cost or for other reasons. And the new supplier is Fabulous Pharma, and their source NDC is 0014-6666. So with this situation, how should Wonder Pharma update its listing? Okay, so under our regulations 207.35, specifically B6, the proposed new NDC must include a new product code when there's a change to any of the following information. So when the drug's distinguishing characteristics, such as the size, the shape, the color, the code imprint, flavor, and if there's any change in the scoring, then you have to use a new product code. You can't use the same NDC. So this screenshot I have here is the SPL of the ibuprofen 800, which is a blue colored tablet, and it's got an imprint of 4444. Okay, so with that being the case, if the new contract manufacturers, this Fabulous Pharma's ibuprofen, differs from any of the above characteristics, it's a different color, it's a different shape, it doesn't have the same imprint, then Wonder Pharma must delist. So they must complete the marketing status of their current listing, and then they must change the marketing end date or add a marketing end date corresponding to the expiration date of the last lot that they repackaged from the previous source drug. And then they must create a new listing and assign a new NDC to their ibuprofen product because it has different characteristics. So they have to have a new NDC. Well, what if they talk to Fabulous and they say, "Hey, I don't want to deal with all that. I want you to make this ibuprofen to match the characteristics exactly of the old source drugs. So I want it to be blue. I want it to have an imprint of 4444." Well, after they do that, does that mean they don't have to make any changes to the listing? Well, no, they would still have to make updates. First and foremost, they have to remove the establishment, the Amazing Pharma, because that's the previous establishment, the previous source drug, and they're not using them anymore. So they got to take them out. Then they have to add the new establishment manufacturing the drug. So then they have to add in Fabulous Pharma. So in this case, Wonder Pharma may retain the same NDC because there's in the regulation it's matching everything. However, what we strongly recommend is that Wonder assign this new NDC, this new drug a new NDC to maintain an accurate and up-to-date listing data. So that's our recommendation. All right, so now let's follow Wonder Pharma and their ibuprofen journey in this new case. Here I have an excerpt of the House Applied section in the content of labeling. So as you see here, it's an ibuprofen 800 milligram tablet. It's color blue. It's capsule shaped. And it's film coated and it's engraved with 4444 on the one side. So you see here on NDC of 0012444401 bottles of 1000. And I just highlight that just for you to be able to remember that. And then all the other stuff that you would see in House Applied, the storage and RX only and whatnot. And so remembering that highlighted section, this is the what Wonder Pharma has inputted into their SPL. And let me get my pointer here. It's kind of hard to see, I apologize, but the product NDC is 5555001. That's the NDC that Wonder Pharma has assigned to their repackaged drug. They want to name it Wonder Drug, but it's an ibuprofen tablet. And the source NDC, this was from Amazing, the 4444. As far as the packaging is concerned, they have assigned data package code of 01, and it's a blister pack of 10 capsules each, and it's not a combination product. So this is the SPL. How does everything look? Does it look good? Any changes necessary? Well, let's see. So in the House Applied section, it cites that the NDC and bottle size is 0012-444401, and it's bottles of 1000. So that I highlighted that because the content of labeling should reflect the repackaged drug. So the repackaged drug is ibuprofen that's repackaged into 10 count blister packs. So this error, we actually see it a lot. It's most likely due to them copying and pasting the entire content of labeling from the source drug and not making any updates to it to reflect that this is their repackaged drug product. So as you see, there's a mismatch in the NDC and package error that exists in the House Applied section and also the SPL. So please note that repackager's NDC must be reflected in the SPL, the entire content of labeling, and that includes not just the House Applied section that I mentioned, but also the principal display panel. So that's the example image that you guys upload, and if you guys are uploading, it must reflect the label, your label, not the source NDC's label, because this is your listing if you're the repackager. Okay, so this next case study number 3, I want to talk about marketing categories. So in order to commercially distribute drug products in the US, you must have an authority to do so, like a legal pathway. So one of those is through the application process. You submit an application with FDA. This is my drug. This is how I'm going to use it. This is the labeling, everything. And we review it, and then we approve it or reject it. And then if it's approved, your application will get a number with it that you can cite in your listing. So the NDA is the new drug application. The ANDA is the abbreviated new drug application for generic drugs. The BLA is the biologics license applications for biologic drugs. Another way to bring drug products into the US is to use an OTC monograph. So we published an OTC monograph and updated through administrative orders. And these monographs tell you the drugs that you can use, the labeling, the strength, everything. And if you make the drug exactly like it's cited in the OTC monograph, then you can legally market in the US. So anything that's not part of the application or the OTC monograph is considered unapproved. And an example of that would be homeopathic. So in this case study, we're going to follow Wonders Pharma's ibuprofen 800 milligrams. So in it, you see that the marketing status is active. They started marketing it in 2017, and they're saying that their authority to market it in the US is through an OTC monograph drug, and the application number they're citing is M013 for internal analgesics, antipyretics, and anti-rheumatic drug products for over-the-counter use. So OTC monograph M013, it does not cite 800 milligrams in that monograph. So as I mentioned before, if you're going to use an OTC monograph citation in your listing, you have to follow the monograph exactly. And 800 milligram is not an OTC strength. So in order to be able to use this, to do this legally, you have to use an ANDA. Okay, so then they say, all right, that's right. That was just a mistake. Let me switch to ANDA. So Wonder Pharma puts ANDA 078392. Well, is this an error? Let's look at it. So the way they input it into CDER Direct, it's the active, the start date, the ANDA, and then they input it. Okay. Unfortunately, 078392 ANDA is for granisetron. The correct ANDA is most likely 078329. That's for ibuprofen 800. So we don't see it a lot, but we do see it. These are like transpositional errors. But we'll also see random application numbers where you don't really understand why they use the application number, so they've used the wrong application number. Other things we see is that the application numbers that they've cited is they don't have the right of reference, meaning they do not have permission from the application holder to use their application, but they're citing it anyways. So these are common marketing errors that we're seeing, as I mentioned above, the incorrect application numbers or unauthorized use of these application numbers, as well as the incorrect OTC monograph that they're not citing properly, or they're not updating the citation of the OTC monograph. After there's been an update, sometimes they update the citation, and that's not being updated in the listing. So I want to remind you guys that all of the above errors misbrands the drug product and subjects the listing for further compliance action. So in summary, changes in the source drug requires drug listing updates and may require a new NDC. Repackaged drug listings must reflect the repackager's NDC, the correct package size and description, not just in the SPL, but also in the entire content of labeling. And marketing categories must be an accurate reflection of a drug's authority to market the drug products in the US. So thank you very much. We will take questions after this presentation. If you guys do have questions for us later, feel free to email us at eDRLS@fda.hhs.gov. Or if you have a technical question about how to submit something, the more appropriate email is cderdirect@fda.hhs.gov. Thank you.